Hello YouTube, it's your girl Jalissia Nicole, and I'm here with my very first storytime video here on my YouTube channel. This video will basically explain the reason for why I did not graduate this past weekend, and my whole story of what happened. It's like a testimony slash story time video, and I feel like me making this video and telling you guys what happened will really touch somebody who has been through the same thing I've been through, or they're currently going through the same thing I'm going through. You never know what people are going through until they actually tell you, and I want to let everybody know who's willing to watch my video what happened. At first I was embarrassed and I was mad at myself for not graduating this past weekend, but at the same time it made me realize that it wasn't my timing, it wasn't God's timing to allow me to graduate, and there was a reason, some type of reason for why I did not walk this weekend besides me failing a class. So to give you guys a little background information, I am a psychology major minoring in sociology. What I plan on doing with my major is, once I graduate from the undergraduate program, I want to attend grad school to study like marriage and family counseling, or just counseling in general. So rewind to this past summer, I had went ahead and applied for graduation. Paid the graduation fee because I was only like 20 credits short from being able to walk. So I ended up taking 20 credits in the fall. That was the most I've ever taken. I usually take like 15 to 16 credit hours a semester, but this past semester I took 20 credit hours. 6 of the classes being 3 credits, and then 1 of the classes being 2. And I was taking the senior capstone class to graduate. I was taking a class that I already had taken before and I did not pass it. I had took this class like a year ago, did not pass it, so I retook it because I needed it to graduate. And then I had another class that kind of consisted of a lot of time, and I had like 4 classes that were like easy electives, GPA boosters and things like that. Not saying that, all of my classes wasn't important, but I had like I have taken 3 classes that were important, that were really important, and consisted of more time than my elective classes. So like I said, I retook a class that I took last year, and I was so focused on passing that class. Like, my main concern was passing the class that I already had took last year. And plus, I was not terrified of the professor. I wouldn't say terrified of him, but I have taken him before, and I know that he's a hard professor, and it's a lot of students that feel the same way about him. So I didn't want to, have to take his class for the 3rd time. So I formed like study groups with multiple students in the class, and we would get together and we would like study together, or we would just discuss things that we feel like would be on the test. And we all wanted to pass his class because I know for a fact, like, I already knew how he was because I have taken him before. So I wanted to pass this man's class. And then my senior capstone class is the reason for why I did not graduate. So I passed the class that I had to retake from failing it a whole year ago. The crazy thing about the situation is, I was so focused on minority relations that my senior capstone seminar class was, like I said, it was still important to me, but I was putting a little bit more time into minority relations than I was seminar, because I was passing seminar. I had a high C. I had like a 78 throughout the whole semester, versus me, like struggling still in minority relations. I didn't put as much time and effort as I did minority relations as I did seminar, which resulted in me, not passing the class, but I'm going to still tell you guys what happened. So I'm going to go ahead and let you guys know. I have taken the professor that teaches seminar. I have taken her before for other classes. So I kind of already knew how she was as well, but I've never taken her before for like a final paper class. So the psychology seminar class consists of a final paper, and then throughout the semester we would do like small assignments to lead up to the final paper. So the final paper was to be like 10 to 12 pages with 15 sources. I'm gonna go ahead and let you guys know now, I hate writing papers, and that's all my major consists of, is writing papers. I hate it. I wish I would have known that before I decided on my major, because I don't like writing papers. I like psychology, but I don't like writing papers. But that's like a personal issue that I have to just, put to the side and keep going forward with. So, like I said, we would do like small assignments leading up to the paper, and I was doing really well on the small assignments. Also, the professor, she would like cancel class. She would tell us like she didn't feel good, her car wouldn't start, like little personal issues. So majority of the semester we did not have class. Like the whole month of November, minus Thanksgiving break, because we was already out of school anyway, we did not have class. So, I'm thinking, okay, I'm good. I have a 78 in this class. I'm going to pass my senior capstone class to graduate. I'm good. So our rough draft was due October 29th to be exact. She wanted our rough draft to be our final paper. Like our rough draft was the 10 to 12 the 10 to 12 pages plus the 15 sources in APA style, the whole 9 yards. So I went ahead and, turned in my paper on October 29th. So she told us to go ahead and do that, and that would give her at least a week or two to make comments on our paper and grade our rough draft. So when the final paper is due December the 5th, we will already we have enough time to critique our papers, make changes that she wanted us to make, little things like that. So turn in the paper on October 29th. We have a group message for that class that I created, and we always would talk in the group message, anything dealing with the class. If grades were posted, we would exchange our grades amongst each other. So I noticed that everybody in the group, except for like me and like another person, we did not get our grade for the rough draft. So weeks had went by. We had got out of Thanksgiving break that last week of November, and I still have not received my rough draft grade, but knowingly everybody else in the class did. So also be mindful, we didn't have class really the whole month of November, so she was hardly on campus. It had me thinking that maybe that was like the only class she really taught this semester, because when she canceled class for us, she was not on campus at all. Like some professors are cancel class, but they might still be available like sometime during that particular day. She was not as available as she should have been to me as a professor. So it wasn't like I was able to just walk to her office, talk to her face to face to ask her what happened to my paper, why she didn't grade my paper yet, when everyone else in the class had their grade for their paper. So I emailed her, and also another issue I had was the fact that she does not email back. I don't know why. She does not email back. So I emailed her anyway, just thinking that if I email her, it's a chance that she might respond. I let her know that I have not received my grade, thinking that maybe she have just forgotten to post my grade on the blackboard or something like that. So she never did email me back. So we're out for Thanksgiving break. We come back, and we're still getting things together, and our final paper is due the week we come back from Thanksgiving break, and then we also have a presentation. No, so not only are we assigned a 12-page paper, but we also have a presentation to do. So the presentation consisted of our paper pretty much in a PowerPoint form. So I don't like talking in front of people. It's okay for me to talk to a camera, but like talking in front of people, I don't care if I know the whole class off the back of my hand. I don't like talking in front of people, but you know, to get the grade, I had to do it. So we had to present our PowerPoints in front of everybody, and then the PowerPoint and the final paper went hand in hand. So grades were due that Thursday, and then we find out that Friday whether we walk or not, which another thing that I didn't like about the whole situation was we didn't know until the day before graduation whether we was walking or not. I mean, it's so last minute to me. I don't really understand why they do that, but they do. And also, it's like, you know how your grades are, you know whether you're going to walk or not, but that email is still the most important thing that you're waiting on the day before graduation. So that Thursday, I ended up moving back into my house from my dorm, and as I'm moving out my dorm and heading home for Thanksgiving break, for Christmas break, I get a notification saying that she just posted my rough draft grade, knowing that I turned that in October 29th. So also, I almost forgot to mention this too. She made minor comments on my paper for my rough draft. She had only really commented on the first like 2 to 3 pages of my rough draft. She said things like I had bad word choicing, I needed to add to my abstract. That was it. I had no idea of her saying that, okay, she didn't tell me anything major that I needed to change to my paper. So when you made your comments on my paper and your comments was minor things such as add to your abstract and change some of your word choicing, that's the only thing I did to my paper because that's what you told me to do. So also stated on her syllabus, she said that, you know, when I'm reading your rough draft, if I see anything that becomes suspicious, any like, you know, sentences or paragraphs that don't look like it would be something that came from you, then I will let you know so you can change it in time for the final paper. She didn't do that. I honestly don't even think she read my paper, but you know. So I changed the little minor comments that she made to my paper, and I resubmitted that as my final paper. So I had the page length, I had the 15 sources requirement, I had in-text citations. So again, going to Thursday, December the 12th, yes, December 12th, grades were due by 5:00 p.m. December 12th. She did not post our final grade until 4:30 p.m. So that means she didn't post until 30 minutes before the deadline for grades to be posted. So at this point, my heart being out my chest because I started to get scared. At first, I was not really too worried about this class. Honestly, like I really thought I was doing well in the class because I had been passing. She didn't really make too many major comments on my rough draft. So I'm thinking I'm good. Okay, my rough draft had minor comments. I'm good. Knowing that I don't like writing papers and I really didn't have any help from her for the paper, I'm good. So I get on self-service. That's like the website that my school uses where we can like see our final grades. You can access your transcript, you can look at your bill. It's a bunch of things that you can do on it. You can look at your financial aid. I get on self-service and I see that I have a F for the course, a fat F. So at this point, I start crying. I'm like devastated. I'm mad. I'm angry. I'm a whole bunch of things because how did I get a F for the course when I had a 78? Pretty much the whole semester I had a C in her class. Like I had a 78 the whole semester because we had like before the rough draft grade we might have had like 8 to 10 grades before the rough draft, but they were like small grades. They were like 10 points. We had an assignment that was worth like 25 points. So they were small point assignments, but I saw a F. And I was doing well on the like small assignments and things like that, but I saw a F for my grade and it made me so mad. So I emailed her after I calmed down. I emailed her asking her why did I make an F for the class because she never posted my final paper grade on Blackboard. The last thing she posted was the rough draft grade, and she did not post my rough draft grade until the day of grades were due. So let y'all know, the rough draft was due October 29th. I emailed her that Friday before we got out for Thanksgiving break. So at least after the rough draft was due, I emailed her about 3 weeks later to let her know I never received my grade. She never emailed me back. Even when she saw me in person, she didn't say anything to me about the rough draft grade. She finally posted my rough draft grade that Thursday, December 12th. She posted my rough draft grade about 2 o'clock that day, and then final grades were due 3 hours later. So she gave me a 64 on my rough draft, which I didn't. Now that I think about it, I don't understand how I made a 64 because I had small minor comments on my paper. I don't think that's supposed to be a 64 if I had a few comments. Word choicing and adding to your abstract, and you took off 30 something points for that. So I emailed her thinking that she wasn't going to respond to my email because she never does. Shockingly, she emailed me back. She apologized and she said that I had 65% plagiarism in my final paper, which results in a 0 and you failed the class because the paper was worth a lot of points. It was worth 125 points. So in her syllabus, it does say if your final paper consists of 25% or more of plagiarism, that's a 0. I purposely did not plagiarize her final paper. If I had in-text citations, I had a reference page. My intentions wasn't to go into her class the whole semester in my mind saying, okay, I know that I got a 12-page final paper due. I'm going to go ahead and plagiarize because I already don't like writing papers. No, that was not my whole mindset. I purposely did not try to plagiarize on her final paper. So also, most professors use the turnitin.com whole jabab, whatever you want to call it. So I feel like, she automatically just copy and pasted my paper onto Turnitin. Your references is plagiarism. You get caught, you get flagged for plagiarism due to your references. We supposed to have at least 15 references. But it's okay. It's okay. So after she emailed me saying that I had 65% plagiarism, I emailed her back asking her, will she be on campus the next day? Because I already had my mind made up at this point that I was going back to campus that next day with my mom, and I wanted to talk to her, in person. I was going to bring my laptop along with my rough draft, let her know like, hey, you made minor comments on my paper. If you really read my paper like you said you was going to, if you would have seen plagiarism from your own eyes, because you've been a professor for so many years and you're so experienced when it comes to them things, you could have warned me like, hey, your paper looks very familiar with somebody else's work. You might want to change a couple of words around. So when it comes to the final paper, your paper, will be good. I didn't get none of that. I don't think no one in the class really got that kind of help. But I got the short end of the stick. I'm the only student in the class that got the short end of the stick. So like I said, I emailed her asking her will she be on campus, and she never did email me back. I also emailed the dean of College of Liberal Arts, which I actually really, really like him. He has helped me out a lot. He emailed me back saying that he would be on campus at a such time. So it was like, okay, I'm still gonna go to campus just in case she's there. She just hasn't emailed me back. So I got to campus about 8 o'clock that morning. I got up early to head to campus, and I ended up talking to the dean. He basically told me, like, I briefly told him about the situation. He didn't necessarily say he couldn't do anything, but since she wasn't there, he couldn't really have anything to say because it's her class, and she wasn't there to say what she had to say. So he couldn't really say anything to me because her presence, she needed to be there as well so he can kind of listen to both of our stories. But she wasn't there. She never did email me back to let me know if she was going to be on campus. So I had also thought about changing my major, which I was just thinking of so many different things, but it was no point in me changing my major because I'm only one class short from graduating with a psychology degree. So I might as well just, stick to psychology. So I came to the conclusion that I'm just going to retake her class in the spring. It's taught online. So I will be at home. I'm going to retake it, and I'm going to pass this time. Because I already know how her class is set up. I'm pretty sure it's going to be the same format as it was this past semester. So I already know what she wants. I already know what the assignment's going to consist of. This time, my final paper topic, I need to write about something that I can get more information on, because my last paper was on infant intelligence and learning ability. And I had a lot of information, but I felt like I didn't have enough, because when I was do my research on it, I would get multiple sources, but the multiple sources consisted of the same information. So, in the spring, I'm going to make sure that I pick a topic that I can do a bunch of research on, and my paper is going to be A1. I'm going to pass her class with an A or a B, hopefully an A, and I'll be walking in May. I just had to also realize that there's no need in you crying. There's no need in being mad at myself, because it is what it is. Graduation came and went. I was almost like, did not want to get on social media, because I knew that all of my friends that I struggled with the whole 4 years of college, I knew they was going to post on social media, but I can't be mad. That was me. I'll be posting too. So I congratulated all of my friends that graduated from psychology, because we actually formed this huge bond. Like, we started off as strangers, and then we have taken so many classes together that we actually formed a bond. And I almost forgot to mention this too. I felt like I kind of did too much this past semester, because I was taking 20 credits, and then I had, not only did I have that seminar class, but I had another class that we had to do a final paper in, and that was like 8 to 10 pages. And I had another class that we did a final paper in that was like 3 to 4 pages. So I felt like I had all my papers that I don't like doing. I had all these papers thrown on me like at the very last minute. And so I also was probably just overwhelmed, and I was tired at this point. I was so ready for this semester to be over with, but it came to an end. This is like a testimony. I'm pretty sure that this situation has happened to multiple people. My situation may not be as worse as the person next to me, but I just wanted to share with you guys my story on what happened and why I didn't graduate this past weekend. But it's okay. I've had a lot of people text me and was like, it's okay. Telling me that that it's going to be okay, and they were sorry. And it's only, it's really me. I can't take the blame for nothing. I can't blame nobody else but myself, because I turned in the paper, but my intentions wasn't to plagiarize. I have never really been in this situation before, so I'm hoping that she doesn't report me to the academic integrity committee or anything like that. But my intentions was not to plagiarize. I ended up emailing her again, letting her know that I was sorry, and hopefully that she would really just not feel sorry for me, but take my emailing into consideration and not report me. But I'm going to take her class again. Since I'm retaking her class, this is the only class that I have to take. So there's really no excuses for nothing, because I'm only taking one class versus me taking 6 classes at a time, 5 to 6 classes at a time. I'm only taking one. I'm trying to see what else. Hopefully I didn't leave anything out. I'm pretty sure I've told you guys everything. I just wanted to let you guys know what was going on with me. I know a lot of people kind of was texting me, because I didn't tell a lot of people that I was supposed to walk. Like my family, besides my parents, my family, like my aunts, my uncles, they had no idea that I was supposed to walk. So it wasn't like I had to go back and cover myself. But like the people that I was taking classes with, some of my close friends at my school, they knew it. And then I went ahead and just was telling people. At first I wasn't going to tell anybody what happened, but I felt like once I told somebody, I felt better. Like the more I was telling people, the better I felt about the situation. And I know it happens all the time. I honestly hate that it had happened to me. I didn't want to be the person sitting here telling you guys, okay, so I didn't walk because of this. But I also felt like you guys should know. I hope you guys enjoyed my story, and I will see you guys in my next video, and have a good day. Bye.